So I grew up in Haddonfield, New Jersey, right across from Hoppy's Pond, we called it. And my mother used to walk me down the lane to the beautiful waterfall, and leaves would be changing colors. It was gorgeous. But as I got older, the pond took on kind of a darker quality. I mentioned swimming to my mom. I'd seen this tree with boards on it so you could climb up and maybe dive into the pond. And she told me about, she had grown up in Haddonfield, about a boy that drowned in that very pond. And then I talked to my friends, and everybody told the same story. The pond was bottomless. Scientists had actually, in boats on the pond, tried to find the bottom and couldn't do it. And of course, there were stories about the Jersey Devil some nights there, and the Hessian soldiers that were buried in a friend's cemetery coming down to the pond because the pond was where they bivouacked, and it was very beautiful. So, and there was other things that happened too. There was a institution at the end of the lane on Kings Highway called Bancroft, and well, one morning, Saturday morning, there was a woman in white floating in the pond. Now, I didn't know much about that or exactly what happened, but my friend had seen the body, and they surmised it was a nurse from Bancroft. Well, other things that happened, I did meet somebody from Bancroft in the woods. They were scooping out little places and covering them up in the dirt, with the dirt. And Ronnie and I, my friend Ronnie, asked him what he was doing. He said he was going to trap animals. Well, we were little kids, but we knew you could never trap any respectable animal in a hole like that with a little few twigs on top. And then another thing that was interesting in those woods, my cousin and I, this is when I was very little, we found this strange-looking balloon. And we took it back to my mother. And she looked at it and said, "Oh, that's what men put their cigars in." Well, I don't remember any of this, but my cousin told me. My mother's sister name was Bunny, but my mother was the quick one. So, anyway, as I got older, the pond, well, there was one time we went to see that movie, Creature of the Black Lagoon. And oh my God, after that movie, we didn't go near the pond at night for like months because we knew that pond was perfect for the creature to arise from. Well, I got older, graduated from high school, went to college, studied journalism, and got a job with You Get the Most with the Courier Post. Well, my boss was a pretty cool guy. He even bought marijuana from me sometimes. So we're sitting in the office, and he goes, "Holy smoke," he said, "there's a report of aliens landing over in Haddonfield near Hopkins Pond." I said, "Bob, I grew up there. I know every inch of that space. Let me go." He said, "Well, okay, get the story." So I drove, and as I'm driving, I'm imagining I have this trunk full of ganji. I'm going to be the first Earth person to meet these outer space people. We're all going to sit around and smoke dope around the bottomless pond. I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find any aliens. I searched the field where the school was. There was no sign of anything landing there. So I went back, and the story I should have wrote was the aliens landed on the bottomless pond and it sucked them right down to the bottom. Well, anyway, so I moved on, and I lost that job because they didn't want a hippie on the staff, and I didn't get the big story when the typhoon came to Haddonfield and washed the whole bank away, and the pond emptied out. And my friend, I came down, he came down the other way. We looked at the empty pond, we looked at each other and said, it's not even very deep. It was like my whole childhood got washed away. So, I was living in Camden. Is that the red light? That means I got to get off?
Yeah, like 30 seconds, then you got to get off.
Okay. So, I came back when I was much older, like 50 years old, sweating like a pig, hot day, roasting in Camden. I came to Haddonfield. I put my feet in the water. I looked at that tree. I saw those steps up to the top. I said, what the hell? What the hell? I climbed up those steps. I said a prayer. I jumped off and said, Geronimo! And I came back up. I survived. Thank you very much.